They say love is the greatest adventure, but sometimes it feels like we're wandering through a maze without a map. We step into full of hope, imagining fireworks, grand gestures, and perfect harmony, only to find ourselves lost in confusion, disappointment, and questions we didn't even know how to ask. And yet, most of our expectations for love aren't born from real experience. They are borrowed from stories, novels, and movies, where every kiss is cinematic, every argument resolves magically, and every ending is flawless. Psychologists call this the romantic media effect. Our brains, wired to seek pleasure and reward, are easily captivated by these narratives. Movies give us a dopamine hit. The thrill of a perfect first date, the excitement of dramatic confessions, the satisfaction of an unbroken happily ever after. But reality is far less choreographed. In real life, people meet awkwardly, forget anniversaries, argue about the groceries, and sometimes snore in ways that no screenwriter would dare show. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that 63% of adults admit that media strongly shapes their expectations of love, often leaving them puzzled when reality fails to deliver. When we expect perfection but encounter imperfection, our minds react with confusion and frustration. Cognitive dissonance sets in. We believe love would feel like it does in the movies, but instead we experience miscommunication, disagreements, and messy emotions. We compare ourselves and our relationships to ideals that exist only on screens, creating a gap between fantasy and reality. Those dopamine-fueled expectations make real-life gestures. A cup of coffee made in the morning, a shared laugh after a minor mishap, a quiet moment of support, feel surprisingly underwhelming. Yet these small, imperfect moments are the essence of genuine love. Real love is rarely dramatic, but it is profoundly human. It involves negotiation, patience, and humor. It is learning to coexist with someone's strange habits, their quirks, their moods, and their imperfections, and still feeling connected. Grand gestures are optional. The everyday acts of care are what sustain a relationship over time. Half of couples in the U.S. report frequent disagreements, yet most still describe their relationships as happy. Only a small fraction, around 10 to 15%, experience love as perfect and effortless. Part of the charm of real love is that it is unpredictable, messy, and at times hilariously absurd. Romantic comedies often forget that love includes laundry, bills, and the occasional debate over thermostat settings. The mundane becomes extraordinary when it is shared, when small gestures carry weight, and when laughter arises in the midst of imperfection. What we think of as love in the movies is a fantasy dopamine snack. It entertains, it thrills, but it is not a blueprint. The mystery, the challenge, the humor, and even frustration are all part of the real journey. Once we accept that love is rarely perfect, but always alive, we begin to see its beauty. The shocks become laughable, the disappointments become lessons, and the quiet, human moments become treasures. Real love doesn't need fireworks on demand. It grows quietly, mysteriously, and magically in ways that no story could ever capture fully.